Peter 1:22 says, having purified your souls by your obedience to the truth. I like that part.
Mm-hmm.
Obedience to the truth for sincere brotherly love. Love one another earnestly from a pure heart.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to feed our soul truth.
And the fact of the matter is, and that's the wonderful story of the gospel really is, that a lost soul on this earth can be redeemed.
Right.
That's true.
It can be
That's
revived.
That's the message of salvation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's in Acts the 2nd chapter, when Peter preached that first sermon that the church ever had.
Mhm.
They said, "What can we do?" And he said, "You can save your soul."
Right.
Yeah. Here's what we need to do to save our soul.
Yeah. And then he gave them the truth.
Yeah.
Really, we opened up talking about our nation. What our nation needs right now is some truth.
Truth. Yeah. There's
we
no
need some
doubt.
truth.
Yeah.
We're not getting it, and it's
Yeah.
causing a lot of disorder, a lot of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot of people who don't accept the outcome of this election. They
That's
don't
right.
think it's true.
That's
Yeah.
right.
There's a whole lot of people who watch the news media and don't think it's true.
Yeah.
And they've got good reason to.
Yeah.
We need some truth.
Yeah.
We're not going to get back on track as a nation
No.
if we don't have some truth. I think that's interesting when we talk about God declaring good. That's another way we kind of are and made in the image of God.
Mhm.
We declare things good or not
That's
good.
right. That's right.
Sort of that moral compass that we all have in us in some way.
Yeah. That's a big discussion in the world, and always has been, of what's a moral thing.
Right.
How do we develop morality? Well, our moral compass that you talked about is really because we're created in the image of God, and so we look to God
Mm-hmm.
for morality.
Right.
Or we should.
Or we should. Yeah.
I think that's more of a key point. And our founders, I think, even wrote that into our living document, as we like to call our
Yeah.
Constitution.
Yeah,
there was a basis of morality there in a lot of that.
And even when we understand that we're all tainted by sin,
Yeah.
and they were tainted by sin, but yet that moral compass referred back to the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
He said, our rights are from
That's
the
right.
Creator.
Well, anytime we're trying to make a lawmakers, they should be, I guess they're in a way, they are declaring something good or not good.
That's right. Yeah.
So I guess
Didn't we talk about that a little bit last week? There was some bit of discussion. We talked about that in some way. I don't remember exactly the point.
When we were
but
talking about Romans,
maybe.
13, that laws are made to protect the innocent. God
right.
sanctioned laws.
Right. And I think it's it's either which side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on good, or do you want to be on the bad or evil, whichever way you want to look at it?
So how do you determine when you're developing the law that's to protect the innocent? Well, you got to go back to what's moral.
Mm-hmm.
And where do we get what's moral? It comes from the fact that God created us as moral beings.
Mm-hmm. Well, now we have laws that give women the right to take the life of their unborn child. I wonder, I guess you have to ask the question, are we being image bearers of God and making laws like that?
Yeah. Is that something that would be on the good side or on the evil side?
Does that reflect God's character or not?
It's pretty obvious. We talked about things that God hates, and he
Yeah.
talked about shedding innocent blood.
And again, if our spirit is that intuition, that intellect that's feeding our soul, I think that's something to consideration.
And that gets to the point, and because a lot of people, I think, when they really get down to it, discussing this thing of abortion and right or wrong of abortion, and when you hear that discussion, you know what it finally comes down to? The point of discussion is well, when is a soul
right
there?
There you go.
When does someone become a soul?
Right.
Yeah, a life.
And so what we're saying is, well, if they're not a soul, then it's not murder.
Right.
Right.
But if it is a soul, it is murder.
Right.
That's interesting.
And so and we talked about that in times past. I mean, David in the Psalms, he made the point, said God knew him
Sure he did.
when he was in the womb.
Still in the womb.
And it's obvious that he felt that he had a soul.
Yeah.
Well, he knew who he was.
He knew who he was. God knew who he was.
Right.
That even gets into that spirit a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
The spirit and the soul of David were there.
Yeah.
What was
Before
it? We
he was
had that discussion last week or so on
John,
Mercer, you know,
yeah.
and he
Celebrated
it
in the womb.
in the womb.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Don't forget all the links to our content is in the description and in the comments below. Check us out anywhere you get podcasts, or you can check out our YouTube channel for even more content. Don't forget to subscribe anywhere you get our podcast. Thank you so much for watching the show. We'll be back soon with another episode of The Essential Truth.